develop projects for their career day, right? They had some IoT projects, Internet of Things, and one of the group had a stick. It's kind of like those guiding sticks that blind people use, right? It was a smart stick, so it could actually give them back feedback on the challenges and obstacles that they would encounter. And they have investors that are interested.
That was a prototype or a product?
It was a prototype.
Really?
Yeah. So we do. I mean, and I can give you some projects here. So as I mentioned, our first cohort is graduating tomorrow, right? And they will be presenting their projects this coming Friday.
When is the graduation and where?
It's at Kie, at the former Kie, which is the current University of Rwanda campus of health sciences. So they're graduating tomorrow. They already have projects that they will be presenting to hiring partners on Friday at Transform Africa. Some of the projects they're looking at are a bus booking app that would save time for any bus booking application, where customers of different bus companies in Rwanda wouldn't have to travel to Nyabugogo to buy tickets, but can actually book them and purchase them online. Something else is they have an application that is teaching children how to code, right? That they then can pitch to the Rwandan government to have in schools.
Interesting.
Something else that they have is a pharmaceutical application that allows any customer to search for the specific medication they're looking for and identify the different shops or pharmacies in Kigali that have that medication in stock, so they don't have to waste time running around from pharmacy to pharmacy to find this medication.
All right, so now before we go to another topic, of which we'll do that after the break, tell me one or two touching stories of why you think investors should keep investing in Moringa School.
Oh, I can. So one thing that I've noticed with our women, our students, is that they come from completely, diverse walks of life. Some of them are young high school graduates who are really excited about technology and want to quickly making an impact and contributing to the economy. These ones can transition from high school graduates to a job. We have some very strong...
Story? Any subjective story?
Subjective? What do you mean? Oh, like a specific one? We have a student called Mukasine. She actually was just going through our program. She's a mother, and we provide daycare services. So every day she would come, leave her daughter at our daycare, and was able to go through the program and better herself so that she can provide for her family, right? So there are countless, stories, and I think this is also a pilot, so I will have to say that we're learning, right? Right now, it's a training ground for the students as well as for us.
That's true.
And we are learning as much as possible what the Rwandan student is looking for, so that we can really contextualize our learning methodology, but also what Rwandan companies are looking for. What are the kind of products that they're developing? I mean, if you think about a project, an initiative like 250 startups, it's clear that the talent that you're looking for is also developers, right? Because you're constantly developing products that are solving problems in Rwanda. Partnering with a company like yours would be a brilliant opportunity for our students to gain experience.
That means you develop for the employers. You develop based on the feedbacks of the employers.
Completely.
Interesting.
We consider our hiring partners as partners, just that, right? We're not.
Okay, cool. Okay. Can you before we go for the break? That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting model.
Okay.
Of first, having the feedback of an employer and then develop later. Because I think majority of the tech developers have been developing with imaginations, hoping that they will, crash the market and they disrupt the market. Finally, they crash. Why did you come up with such a strategy of using the employer's feedback? Is it because you had failed many times and then you came back and you realized that you have to approach that way?
That's a very good question. So when our founder started, her name is Audrey Chen, when she started Moringa School in 2014, she was working for a venture capitalist firm that was investing in different startups across the continent. And one of the major issues that she constantly encountered was that they did not find tech talent.
That's true.
That was a huge barrier. And I'm sure you could probably agree with that, right?
That's true, yeah, that's true.
And if you look at traditional universities and traditional schools, they don't prepare graduates for the working, the working world. So you go through a computer science degree, you've read in a textbook, you have theory, but you haven't actually coded.
That's true.
Right? So now you're going into an environment where you have to be trained all over again. Our objective is for our students to leave our doors and be able to hit the ground running and actually add values at the companies they work for.
That's true. So now, Alex, you close for us this session, and then we'll go for a break. Alex, tell us from your experience and expertise, seeing how startups start and fail, and you've seen some of them, penetrating the market and really make money and be able to pay their bills, which is really rare for the startups to be repeatable and scalable in that period of time of 3 to 2 years. So give us an experience, overview in Rwanda to those startups that succeeded and became repeatable and scalable in less than 3 years. What were their characters? What were their characteristics? What was really a common denominator in all those startups?
So the common denominator with most of these is stubbornness.
Interesting.
People who are not just stubborn for the sake of stubborn, but they are working their craft, and day in, day out, they are goers, they are doers, and they are not giving up. The other factor is sales.
So the whole thing is resilience.
It's resilience. Yes, it is resilience, because it's not simple. This is not a. It's not for the faint-hearted, like
that's
they say. And that's There are salespeople. They really have a mix of skill sets. They have enough knowledge, at least on the technical, but also on the sales side. Because, again, startups don't fail because of lack of product or lack of funding, but mostly lack of customers. So if you cannot find customers, you're failing. You're on your way down. And that's the thing that I've seen.
That's salesmanship.
It's the mix of salesmanship and the stomach for risk, where you're saying, okay, I didn't get lunch today, I didn't get transport, but I'll walk to the customer, I'll go pitch them, I'll go do this. If they ask you, okay, bring us a proposal, you're not going to say, okay, I'll bring it in a week or in 2 weeks. The next morning you have it. Okay, so these kind of people are the ones that are seen mostly succeeding, or at least are shrinking that time frame in terms of becoming better or improving themselves.
So those that failed, apart from saying they did not do what those ones did, what are those other failing common denominators apart from the opposite of the?
It's funny enough. I'm gonna repeat the same thing.
That's what I wanted.
It's also stubbornness. But stubbornness is they get married to their prototypes. So they get fixated with the prototype, with the first version of what they have done. Forgetting that actually what makes a startup is iterations.
That's true.
Is getting customer feedback and adjusting to
so
that.
They become rigid.
So they become rigid to...
No access to feedback.
They get access to feedback. They're not taking advice. They're not reaching out, and of course they are mostly in love with their tech, and they fail to differentiate between an app and a business, an innovation and a business as well. So something could be innovative.
Can you differentiate?
I'll differentiate. So something can be innovative and very fancy and very nice and a good thing to do. But when you look at the numbers, they don't add up. How many customers, what's the total market size that you're addressing, okay, or you're targeting? There's 1 million people, or maybe if we do SMSs, and I hate SMS applications for business, with a passion, SMS, USSD, I usually tell people don't bring me that. Because when you look at it, how much money do you need, or how many transactions do you need to run in order to make even 1 million francs? You find you need a lot of them, and then there's so many players in the value chain you need to share that money with. Okay, so you find someone is doing something cool, but when you look at the numbers, they don't add up.
No margins, no scale.
No margins. The margins are slim. There is no possibility. They will have to put in a lot of work in order for them to get to anything. But whatever they're doing is really good. So I come back, and the fact is that some things are features of a product. Okay, you have created, for example, a nut that goes into a table that helps fix. But you need to create to make a million of those, or you need to sell a million of those, because you sell them for less than a cent, each. So these are the things that there's a feature, there's a product, there's a feature, there's a product, and then there's a business.
That's true.
Okay, so some people are still making features which are very innovative, but they don't add up to a product.
That's true.
And sometimes even when they've made the features and added them up all together, and now they have something that could be a product, it still doesn't add up to something that is investable.
That's
it's
true.
Not a business. It doesn't make a business case.
That's true.
The market size target is, or even potential addressable market, and those that fail tend to fixate about.
All right, I have this last question.
Yeah.
To those guys who are invested in, if you can be in the side of investors, of which I know most of the investors, you are around with them, maybe even...
I also invest.
You also invest?
I also invest in interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to know, when those were invested in, or when you invest, are you attracted to the product or to the entrepreneur, to the soul of
invest in anything? I start off with the character of the person, the other factors that I've seen, if they have craft, if they have grit, if they can hustle, but also sometimes talent that I see. Okay, this person.
What are those interesting talents to the investor?
This person can be matched up with this other person, or this talent can be matched up with a salesperson, and they listen, or they take advice. They're teachable, so to speak. And they can be matched up with maybe a salesman, or this is an engineer, and it can be. So it's a mix of that. But first and foremost, I invest in human beings.
That's true.
In the
so
past.
if you break it down, in there are some guys who are in form of students every single day. When you give them bullets, that's when they understand.
Okay.
if you break down the bullets, the tips, these are from a guy who has been dealing with startups for over a decade.
Yep.
So you are worthy giving tips, and God knows. So give them, say, the three major things an investor will always be hooked into.
So I will look for hardworking.
Yep.
So you're working on this thing, and you're responsive in terms of and you're irritating as well sometimes in terms of pushing.
That's true.
So because of the passion that you have for whatever you're doing, you will maybe irritate me. If you irritate me enough in a good way,
that's a signal.
then there's a chance that we can work together, because not irritating.
The same way he irritates you, you irritate a customer.
That's how he's going to go after a customer. I know that's how he's going to go after a customer.
Interesting.
But as well for the ability to self-teach for the engineers, because in today's world, you can't tell me, they didn't teach me this at school. If you can afford 1,000 francs or 500 francs to buy internet capacity, or if you can get yourself into K-Lab or Fab Lab or any of the other spaces, you can learn.
Interesting.
The content, the material is available online. I have examples after examples of young people in Fab Lab, in K-Lab, that have taught themselves so many things that
Thank you, Mr. Alex.
degree cannot give them.
That was inflammable information. So let's have a break of just 1 minute, and we'll be back. Thank you for tuning in on the DecideX on TV1, and these were amazing guests, and we're still together. Just hold on a second, we'll be back. welcome back. This is Sidex. This is Frank Waduka, your friend, and I am a host, and I have good guests today. So let's face them again and see what they tell us next. Now, Ineza, tell me, what are those other opportunities that are coming up in the, Moringa School and yeah?
Okay, so I'll focus on WeCode. We're recruiting our second cohort, where we're looking for 100, motivated women who will be joining our next cohort on the 3rd of June.
When you're talking of women, mention them like bullets.
Yes, who are those women? We're looking for women who are interested in technology. You don't need to have a background in technology, but you need to have a keen interest in technology, right? And using technology to solve problems. 2, minimum criteria is a high school diploma. However, any woman who has a background in technology, either a focus in high school or through a degree or other certification, are also encouraged because obviously they have an advantage. We're looking for women who have strong English skills as well.
Do they have to be engineers or can just have?
We have one young lady, she's not even 20 years old. She's a fresh high school graduate. She's one of our top performers. We also have mothers who are close to 40, who are incredibly motivated and driven, and who are also performing well. It's also a very rigorous program, so we're looking for women who can take off 6 months from whatever activities they're involved in to be available every day for 12 plus hours.
Remind me
so there's a lot of resilience.
Remind me the range of years from which?
You mean the year of the student?
Yeah. So
I mean, we don't, the age group. I wouldn't discriminate.
So
I'm not going
Would you like a 13-year-old?
Okay, thank you. Minimum age, I would say 18. Yeah.
So once again, it's not women, it's just women, because actually the information I have here in Rwanda, when you tell a girl of 19, 20 that, hey woman, they will beat you. So it's opportunities for girls and women. Because when you say women in Rwanda,
for females,
they don't want to be called women. So
really?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the.
Okay.
So you're speaking to a typical Rwandan young man. So I know what these guys love. So we have opportunities for girls, Rwandan girls, and Rwandan women.
Let me actually tell them how they can apply. They can go to, they can tweet us at WeCode Rwanda, or they can go to wecode.moringaschool.com, and then they'll find more context on.
The simplest way is to access you at the Transform Africa Summit, right?
We also have a stand at Transform Africa for anyone
now,
who has.
Let's come back to Charles.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Ineza. Now, Charles, tell me, what are those other opportunities that you have at the 250 startups?
Thank you very much. In World Economic Forum, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda said technology becomes relevant when it solves the problem of the citizens of Rwanda.
I love that.
And in that, we are looking for the founders are using technology as a tool to solve the real problem. And our call for application is ending on 31st this month. But we also, in that angle, we are looking for the fresh graduates in finance and
we're talking about fresh, you mean high school or
fresh graduates
or
at the university.
Cool, you can't take the high school?
No.
All right.
So to come and apply and work with these people for the 6 months as we give them the capacity.
They can find you at the Telecom House.
Yeah, we work at Telecom House. They
Space
can
and all
come
that.
and find us. Our current cohort is happening there, but again, they can find us in Transform.
Interesting. So now, Mr. Alex, tell me about what is in the store for the startups.
By Transform Africa Summit by the people at Smart Africa and the Ministry of ICT and Innovation. And there's an exhibition area zone where you can come and mix and network, not just with Rwandan startups, but also with startups from across several countries like Senegal, Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and they're all going to be there.
All right.
We also have full discussions, talks, but most of all, we'll be having more people like Charles and Ineza who will be sharing opportunities for young people, whether it's job opportunities or training opportunities, but also startup pitching opportunities. So for pitching, we have launchpad. Besides the launchpad, so we have a launchpad. Yes, we'll be discussing about robotics and the future of African artificial intelligence. following what we have been seeing. Mati, the robot, Sophia is
Sophia coming
coming. There's Fundi Bots. There's several others that will be discussed at the summit. And then following up, we'll also have Face the Gorillas, which will be in the auditorium at about 4 p.m. on the second day, on 15th. Don't miss that. It will be...
The gorillas are ready to give money.
They're ready to give money. Entrepreneurs will come, will learn from each other. And there's also, besides all these things, we'll be having a movie, documentary, sci-fi type of African movie that will be screened on the 15th night at TAS. And this is really also to encourage entrepreneurs to venture into deep tech, beyond applications, beyond mobile apps and web apps, but how do we get into space science? How do we get into real math and solving hard problems? So we have Demo Africa semifinals that will be on the 16th, again in the Future Hub, in the startups zone that's there. They will be pitching. And you can apply from e-commerce certification programs to business, process outsourcing readiness, investment readiness training programs. All these guys will be there ready to sign you up for those that are attending. But if you are not attending, this information will also be circulated mostly through the ICT Chamber networks, our social media. Our
so
website.
every young man is allowed to go there on a silver pass?
So those who already got silver passes, this is they already this is a package for them. But also it applies for people who have gold.
For the gold,
because this is we want them to network. We're creating opportunities for them to network with
I wanted to know how it is open to the to the students, because it sounds interesting. There are quite digital opportunities coming up. I think university students, high school students, would be enjoying such a space. So I wanted to know how have you made it open for the mayor students?
Okay. Can I answer that? We have done the Caravan tour to different hubs at different universities, and actually last Friday I was in Huye, University of Rwanda, and many students now applying
Interesting.
from our program. So besides TAS, but we're still reaching out to different universities to make sure that they also the mindset.
So what is so unique in this 5th edition from any other edition we had?
I think what's unique this year, there's an intentional, unplanned and packaged program for startups. So where conversations that are tackling issues that startups face are actually going to be held, but also where young people will be showcasing and engaged in these conversations, and not just. And there's a launchpad, a startups launchpad, which is a new platform that Transform Africa is bringing for young people, that entrepreneurs that have products will be launching or will be showcasing their products. So it's there's quite a few things that are in there. We'll see Africa designed in Africa. Some crazy designs that have been made, product designs that have been made by young.
Interesting. Now we have
add one more thing.
1 second.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, 1 second. So for employers as well, there are opportunities. For employers that are looking to, so technology companies and any other companies that are looking to hire software developers, on Friday we will have a career day where our WeCode students will showcase, they'll showcase their products, but it will also be a networking opportunity for these employers to speak to them, to interview them, and to learn more about how they can, get them into their recruitment processes.
Beautiful. Now, we have a few minutes left, but there's something interesting. I think I'm in a seat of somebody watching us. You guys are inflammable. You're amazing. So now somebody might be wanting to know, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? So in 1 minute we have, can you read a bit of your career journey? What made you that? So 1 minute from Ineza, right? Actually, less than 1 minute.
Okay, so I am passionate about education and entrepreneurship within the education sector. I was on the founding team of the African Leadership University, so I was on the team that started it in Johannesburg, in Mauritius, and in Rwanda. I followed get Africans into employment opportunities and allow them to develop themselves and provide for their families.
That's what keeps you awake, and that's what makes you wake up in the morning.
That is it.
And go for it. Alex.
So I am the CEO of Rwanda ICT Chamber, and today's conversation has been about startups, but we oversee beyond startups. Our members are composed of individuals that are ICT consultants or digital business owners and startups, but also and corporates that are into the digital space. So how did I get here? It's a long journey. I have started several things. I've been working, I joined the ICT Chamber in 2012 following the story that I earlier told about our efforts to bring together entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, ICT entrepreneurs in Rwanda. And ever since then, my heart is about creating opportunities for young people in Rwanda and Africa that help them to increase or improve the value of their life, why they are here on earth, and unearthing that potential and bringing it to life. So that's really what I'm passionate about. It may be in technology, it may not even be in technology, so I'm not I'm agnostic to that. But what I'm looking for is, are you looking to improve yourself? But not just yourself, other people as well.
Beautiful. Charles, a few seconds.
Thank you very much. Charles is my name, Shaka, and work with friends.
What keeps you awake? Yes, basically.
What keeps me awake is that entrepreneurship mind, basically in tech world. So that's what, when I see, I like supporting someone when coming with the idea, due to the experience that I have with working with young entrepreneurs and supporting them to see exactly which solution are you coming up with.
All right, we're done. Now, these guys, they are the right coaches. Meet them at the Transform Africa Summit, and please find them wherever they are. Hook into the network and please fight all your way up to become like them. Thank you so much. Frank Roduk is your host, and DecideX is just basically here for the local startups, basically in tech and agriculture, and we will reach this goal of creating 1.5 million jobs by 2024 as it is a government goal. But also, we are joining ICT Chamber and other programs set up for the young entrepreneurs in Rwanda to make sure we come up with repeatable, scalable products. And we're going to do that together. Thank you so much for being my guest tonight. I love you and I love these people who are watching us. We will never disappoint you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.